Evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock on the nose, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 1175 for this Thursday afternoon, the 3rd of March. It was kind of an interesting day. It was Thursday, so we had claims which were pretty much in line. We also later on in the day had the ISM number, which was a disappointment. It was 56.5. Expectations were for 61, so that wasn't great. We had productivity up 6.6% on more hours, but unit labor costs were up 0.9% versus expectations of 0.3%. So a pretty big number there. The market opened higher. It spent most of the morning higher, although the NASDAQ was weak and was down a couple of times. We went from up at the open to down at midday, rallied back to up in the Dow again, and the Dow Jones transports were very strong earlier in the day. But after about 2 o'clock, we moved lower, stayed there, and closed down. The Dow was only down 96. But it had been much stronger, so a little bit of a move there to the downside late in the day. Advanced declines there were about 1.2 to 1 to the downside. The Nasdaq was clearly the biggest loser, down 1.5%. Or 214.07, and the AD line there was 1.8 to 1. Volume was about 5 billion, which is, recent last couple of days about average. S&P was down 23 or 0.5%. The Russell was down 26.5, 1.3%. And as I said, the Dow Jones Transports was up about 215, 220 when I looked at it. It closed down $9.97. The VIX moved up pretty much what it was down yesterday, 33.32 up 258 or 8.39%. Not a blow off high, but nonetheless an advance. The chart on the screen is the oil. And I warned you this morning that we had gone parabolic, and we did get up to 116.5 and then collapsed all the way back. I mean, if this doesn't look like a reversal day, nothing does. We closed $10 off the high, 116.56. Okay, $9 off the high, but really close to the low versus where we were early on. And to show you, give you a little bit of context, we'll go to the 5-year and see just how far we've come. And as I mentioned this morning, when we were just at the 105, 106 level, that was 3 standard deviations above. And so if I put the Bollinger Bands on this, you'll see just how big a move that actually was through the upper Bollinger Band, which was right here around, I want to say around 100, 98 to 100 in the price of oil. So a huge, huge move. And it looks like it's going to get back some. Most of the news was based on positive talks with Iran. So gold was higher, was up. Let's see, gold was up 13.5. It closed about mid-range. It had been 1344 and as low as 1944 and as low as 1923. So $12 off the low and $9 off the high. So not a bad close on the range for the day. Coffee really surprised me and blew right through the support at 228. Down to 222, actually traded 21.75, but finished down 630. And lumber, for anyone who cares, was limit up again. The Bitcoin market was down hard. There was some, Jay Powell was at the Senate today. He was at the House yesterday, and that one trick pony, Elizabeth Warren, just pounded on the Bitcoin stuff. And there was some other international news about places that were not, that were going to over regulate it. Um, Ethereum down 154, which is a bigger percent, I believe, than even in the Bitcoin. Bonds were up today by 9/32. That's about a quarter of a point. In stocks, this morning I told you about VEEV, which had better earnings but was trading at 206, down 23 and change, or over 10%. That continued all day. It closed 193, down 37. So it almost doubled the move to the downside and was down 16.2%. Okta, same situation. When we mentioned it this morning, it was trading about 170, closed 167.98, down almost 15, 8.1%. On the upside, we had Best Buy, which missed on revenues but beat on earnings, and this morning was 106 and closed the day 110.14. So it moved almost double, up $9.30 or 9.2%. Kroger, who reported terrific numbers, and the stock closed 55.10, up 5.73 or 11.6%. And Gap Stores, which beat with on revenues and had a smaller than expected loss. This happened after the close and when they had the conference call, and the stock, which closed 14 and a quarter, down 32 cents, rallied as high as 1588, and the last is 1436, up, uh, pardon me, yeah, 1436, up $1.58 or 7%. So a nice turn there. We'll see if that carries through. All right, everyone. Tomorrow's the last day of the week, and of course, as the first Friday of the month, we will have the government numbers on employment and probably some substantial revision of last month. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Have a good evening.